Media bias tracker for December 20th, 2023. Let's get into it. Tesla blamed drivers for failures of parts it long knew were defective. Clearly a negative headline. And it ignores how car companies work, how all companies work. Recalls are measured. They tried to determine how important a recall is before they actually do one. Sometimes it doesn't affect. You can have a part that's not perfect and still works as intended. Things are over-engineered with margins for failure. Tesla owner faced $14,000 repair day after buying. Very negative and very dishonest when he brought it in. He only had 150 miles on the odometer. Let's look at it. I had to use archive because of the paywall. Fudge off, Business Insider. I'm not giving you money to lie. A new report suggests it's a much bigger problem. It isn't. Owner took the car in. The first service tech said, that doesn't look like there's any damage, but we'll take a look. And then they took a look and found that you damaged it. You did something to the car to damage it. And the EV suspension broke while he was driving. He hit something. And we know because the insurance company paid to fix it. The insurance company took the $14,000 hit. Insurance company's not going to do that unless there is evidence that you did something to the car. Brand new cars are not bulletproof. Well, some exceptions may apply, but this one, you did. You damaged the car. Oh, you had to pay a deductible and faced higher insurance rates. Yeah, because you crashed. You hit something. Don't hit stuff. And then he sold it and lost $10,000 on the sale. Well, I mean, it's a used car. You drove it off the lot. What do you expect? Negative headline. All right. Tesla drivers are the most accident prone. Now, we did a whole video about this nonsense, yesterday, I think. A public video explaining, no, that was today. Oh, yeah, no, that was yesterday. Boy, they all blur together. Highest accident rates. Terrible. Very dumb. No, that was today. So if you want to see that in depth, it's out. It's up. Tesla labor issues piling up with pay hikes. Scandinavian strikes weighing on the EV maker. Negative. Mostly untrue. Negative. Tesla skips employees' yearly merit-based stock compensation. Tesla removes stock compensation. This hasn't been a banner year. It's been a good year. But I would point out that employees are getting raises. If you want the stock, buy the stock. If you have the cash, you can buy the stock. How Tesla rose to retail investor stardom. It's always in people's minds. I'm calling that positive. Volkswagen, Porsche, and Audi joined the NACS network. Those are positive. Tesla confirms wireless inductive car charging home charger is coming. They didn't confirm it. They confirmed they're working on it. They confirmed that it is a thing that they are working on. Doesn't mean it's coming. Doesn't mean it's coming immediately. It's a positive headline. It's a bit misleading, Fred. You know better. Disney Plus vanishes in the feud. Musk-Iger feud. Tesla removes Disney app. And Gizmodo says Musk is dangerously close to losing the Tesla hoe. Should mention that that's a person. That's a real person. I'm assuming this is in retaliation. So I guess as a mom, I get to deal with telling my toddlers we can't watch whatever it is we watch. And of course I said, our parents are fighting and we don't know what to do. Can't we all just get along? Light mode. That's what it looks like when I'm logged out. Tesla Cybertruck Foundation Edition. Great. Wade mode. Great. And still this garbage is showing up from that stuck Cybertruck. This one from yesterday was number 26. Today it's made the top 25. It's at about 20 here. AI revolution. Morgan Stanley predicts explosive growth. A very positive headline. A very positive story from Adam Jonas, the analyst at Morgan Stanley. Big lie exposed. Edward Niedermeyer, you absolute clown. What I learned on my Tesla Cannonball run, that's just facts. Now, there may be negative things in it. There may be positive things in it. We're evaluating the headline. Labor union joins Sweden's strike against Tesla. Negative. blaming drivers for failures of parts it long knew were defective. Look, if it meets the required durability, but doesn't have 125% strength or 200% strength, if it's only 105 and you push it to 110 and it breaks, that is on you. CNBC knows better, but they also know what kind of headline makes people click. Massive recalls explained in 3 charts. This one's been popping up all week, but look, 4 hours ago, it's brand new again. Musk and Tesla are battling unions. If you rode in a Tesla, you had the highest accident risk. No, you did not. The hell you say? That's ridiculous. Come on, man. And I think that's where the 25 ends. Yes. So that gives Tesla for the week, for the day, a media bias score of -40, trailing day 7 day of -34. So here we are, it's gone down, but the weekly trend has gone up because this terrible day has fallen off. That was the 2 million recall. At least we're not seeing that one showing up as much. This bad boy here at a flat 0 gave a good bump. This one did too. Trailing 7 day, -34. Pretty strong, I must say. So let's take a look at our second topic, Boring Company. Here we are. Elon Musk has opened the Boring Bodega in Bastrop. Here's what you can find there. I'm calling that positive because even though it's just saying what you can find, it's fine. And then we're going to get into a batch of stories pretending that that underground tunnel's only for Tesla, and it's very confusing. Is it confusing? It's you who's confusing people. Bastrop Bodega, very good. A tunnel to avoid traffic designed for Teslas. Ugh. So this article is so bad, I just had to highlight it. Now, mind you, I do read all these stories, so you don't have to. You can if you want. I don't recommend it. Most of them are bad. One of Musk's companies built the Vegas Loop. It works like a subway tunnel, except it uses Teslas rather than trains. And a ride costs $12 from the airport. You know the tunnel doesn't go to the airport, right? Not yet. That's going to be in like 5-10 years. Okay. Boring Company, yes. Let's see. It's designed to beat traffic. Yeah, it is. Tunnel's open to anyone, but you can't take your car. So the tunnel isn't open to anyone. You have to be a visitor at the convention center with a ticket. As far as I know, I'll find out next month when I go to CES with Jeff. Not just because most of the cars that aren't a Tesla Model Y wouldn't fit. Okay, you know there's Model X's in the tunnel, right? You know that a Model X is a pretty big car. What are you talking? Not because most of the cars that aren't a Model Y wouldn't fit. Oh, this is so dumb. Dumb to the core. You can get to the tunnel buy a ticket or a subscription, and a fleet of Tesla cars will connect you from A to B. It's more or less exactly like a subway, except you're in a Tesla rather than a train. It is nothing like a subway. Subways do not take you point to point without stopping. They don't. There are often 5, 10, 20 stops between you and your destination. You often have to change trains once or twice. You have to know where your train is. Very dumb. The journey from the convention center to downtown will set you back $5. Definitely cheaper than a taxi. And when it's open, it'll be quicker, but that part's not open. It only runs to Resorts World so far, I think. Riviera is coming next, I believe. Come on, guys. Underground tunnel built only for Tesla has the internet baffled. There's trouble below at Elon Musk's Boring Company. See, you had to put that in there because that's how you get clicks, Jessica. And it's ridiculous. I'm not going to click on Fortune. I haven't read this one because they have a paywall that kicks in real quick. And this one does not rise to the level of me using up my 3 or 5, whatever it is per month. And I'm not giving Fortune a penny. 7 years after the Boring Company, we're going to see this one a bunch of times. Only 2.4 miles of tunnel to show for it. So you're measuring it from the date of startup, because construction for the first one only launched in 2019, and they got the full tunnel done in a year during COVID, or a year or two, whatever it was. I think it was a year. And it went real fast. It went so quick that even though it was $53 million to do a tunnel versus a tram overhead that wanted $250 million. So guys, come on. Boring Company completes Vegas Westgate Tunnel, Westgate 2 tunnel with Proof Rock 1. So we've got Resorts World and Westgate 2. I don't think Westgate 2 is open yet, but the tunnel is complete. In 7 years, yeah. A Messiah complex. John Oliver calls out Musk's wild year on Last Week Tonight. I did a whole show on that too because Johnny. It's unfortunate. I am disappointed, and it makes me call into question everything else he's covered. Because I had comments from people who said, I work in the rail industry, and I can tell you that his coverage of trains was also similarly flawed. Surface level, defensible, but not necessarily accurate and intentionally flawed. Boring Company shares rise. That's good. Elon Musk's The Boring Company. Neutral. That's a neutral headline. Nobody's going to click on it, but it's neutral. Boring Company to reach $1 trillion market cap. That's positive. Environmental concerns in Texas. And that's number 25. This is, I think that's 25. We can go a little further though, just because it's already been tallied. We'll dig 68 miles of tunnel. Yeah, I didn't include that one. August. That's how far back we got. November. Yeah. So this is why we only cover the Boring Company once a week rather than once a day. The news is not as common. And so let's look at it. Media bias, +8. A week over week change of -28. Last week it was at +36, but it's still positive. So if you look at these, last week it was at +36, so it was right about here. And now it's at +8, which is right about here, versus any day of Tesla. The 2 times we've covered the Boring Company, the headlines are still, despite being pretty awful, way more positive than they are ever for Tesla. That's where we're at. That's what we got. I did get sufficient feedback yesterday on adjusting the scale that it will remain +100 to -100, because as it was explained to me by at least 2 people, it's important that when it's negative to have negative in the name of the metric. And I get it. I appreciate that. I thank you for the feedback. That's why I asked. Rather than making a unilateral decision, that's it for today. See you tomorrow.